Hello, everybody. Welcome to Grit English Training Center. My name is Liz. I am the founder of Grit ETC, and this is the part 2 of the English Teacher Training Basic course. But before we will continue, if you have not followed or liked us on Facebook, you can search us on Facebook through our handler Grit English, or you can search Grit English Training Center on Facebook. You can also follow us on Instagram at Grit ETC. And if you have some questions, if you have some concerns, you can email us to ihavegrit@gritetc.com. You can also go to our website. You can reach out to us through gritetc.com, or you can send a direct message through to our social media accounts. Okay, so again, this is part 2 of the English Teacher Training Basic course. So in part 1, we talked about the brief introduction of Grit ETC and also the job requirements if you'd like to become an English teacher. So now we are going to talk about the hiring process and do's and don'ts while you are in class. And also we are going to talk about the disadvantages and advantages of working from home. All right, so let's start with the hiring process. So first, of course, you are going to send your resume or CV and together with your application letter. And most of the companies right now, they ask for your 3-minute video or audio introduction. Okay, number 2 and number 3, which is initial interview and written exam, this can be interchanged. Some companies, they don't have written exam. Okay. But if they do, they comes either before or after the initial interview. Okay, and then number 4, you will have demo class. Most of the companies right now, they really require you to have demo class. So what is a demo class? It is like you are going to show them that you can teach. So during the class or during the demo class, you have to showcase your teaching skills. Some schools, they will give you the topic, they will decide the students' level, and they will also provide the materials. Especially for those schools who have their own materials or they have their own books. So they would like to know if you can teach their materials. So that's why they're giving it to you during the demo class. But some schools, they will leave everything to you. So you have to decide the level, the topic, and the materials as well. Okay, so demo class usually is 10 to 15 minutes, but some schools, they will really let you teach for 25 minutes or 15 minutes. Your students can be the owner of the school. It can also be their children or their employees at school. Sometimes your students are or your student can be the manager. Okay, so that's the demo class. If you pass the demo class, then you will have the final interview. Okay, all right, so so that's the hiring process if you'd like to become an English teacher. Okay, so if you decide to be a home-based online English teacher, then there are advantages and disadvantages. So let's talk about the disadvantages first. So first, you don't get any government benefits. Okay, you don't have SSS, you don't have PhilHealth, you don't have Pag-ibig. Okay. Next is no support from managers or superiors. Probably there is, but really very minimal. I can't remember the last time I talked to the manager of the school I am working for right now. Okay. Next is no backup power or internet. This is really very crucial because if you're working from home, let's go to number 4, no work, no pay. So which means if you have power outage or if you have internet outage, then you cannot work, which means that you don't get paid. Okay, many of the teachers right now, they have power backup, they use car batteries, or if you have if you would like to be more sustainable, then probably you would like to invest in solar powers, but it's a little bit pricey, so car battery is more affordable. It's okay. All right. And then lastly, you don't have bonus or incentives. Some schools though, they give incentives to their teachers, but unlike if you are teaching or if you are working in the office, you probably get free lunches, you get you have parties, okay, you will also have 13-month bonus. But if you are working from home, you don't get those. Seldom companies they give bonus to their teachers if you're working from home. Okay, but these are the advantages: less stress. Okay, and number two, you will work at your own pace. You can arrange your own schedule, so you won't miss any important events in your family. Okay, and since you can arrange your own schedule, then you can decide your day off. Okay, like in my case, sometimes Thursday is a slow day for me, so sometimes I take a day off. Sometimes I don't teach during the daytime, I only teach at night. Although these days I only teach a couple of hours during daytime, and then I work 3 hours at night, and that's it. Okay, so you can arrange your own schedule. Have more time with your family. Okay, so if you are a working mom, or you are a dad, or um, if you need to take care of your family, then you can arrange your schedule according to the family's schedule. You can have a family day. Okay, so you won't really miss important events in your family. Okay, and next is no traffic, and you don't have to wake up early, unless perhaps if you would like to teach from you if you'd like to teach at 5 a.m. There are schools that will allow you to start early. Then you have to wake up early, of course, but you don't have to commute, so you don't have to worry about waking up at 3 a.m. just to be at work on time. um, if you start working at 5 a.m., you can wake up at 4:45 in the morning, just wash your face, make coffee, and that's it. All right, so no traffic, less stress. And since you don't have to commute, then you save money from transportation. Okay, you can take your kids, you can treat your family since you're making money. Okay, although you need to pay utilities, you need to pay the electricity, you need to pay the internet, but really that's very minimal. I think you still have internet at home, even though you don't work from home, right? Even though you're not working at home, you still get paid. I mean, you're still paying your internet, you're still paying your electricity, right? But yeah, you save, really, you will appreciate if you're working from home and you're making money, and you don't have to go out to buy food. You can cook at home. Okay, and number seven, this is actually not an advantage, but I just I put it there for you to think of it as an advantage. Okay, so since you don't get government benefits from your company, then it contribute to those government agencies as self-employed. It doesn't take so much time to change your status from employed to self-employed. It takes only really few minutes to do that. There are a lot of satellite offices of SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig, and then you can also pay your contribution through billing centers. Um, if you're doing online banking, you can also pay your PhilHealth. I mean, yeah, you can pay Pag-ibig and even SSS through your online banking services. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages of working from home. All right, so let's go to the do's and don'ts. So these are the things that you must not do when you are in class. Okay, so don't talk about politics, religion, money, sex, and other sensitive issues. Unless if the student really initiate the topic, then you can continue talking about these topics. But if you are not really comfortable about it as a teacher, okay, you're not really comfortable talking about politics or religion with your students, so just apologize and explain to the student that you're not really very comfortable talking about it in class. Okay, and then next is don't ask too personal questions. Okay, probably in our culture in the Philippines it's okay, but probably in their culture it's not okay. Okay, say for example, you would like to know if the student is married. Maybe it's okay for us here in the Philippines to ask if the person is married, but probably in their culture it's not. Okay, so um, so you can still ask, but don't force the student to answer. I always say if you don't mind me asking, if it's all right to ask, all right. Um, there is a certain material in our school that some of the questions are really very personal. Okay, so when the student choose that material, I always say some of the questions in this material or in this book are personal. So if you think it is too personal and you don't want to answer the question, it's all right to skip the question. Okay, so don't force the student to answer the question if it's too personal. Okay, next is don't argue with the student unless, of course, it's a debate class. Okay, I haven't really had an argument with the student. Okay, so if there's really a misunderstanding between you and your student, let the management handle it. Okay, and then next is don't give false information. So if you don't know the answer of the question, some students they think that you know everything because you're a teacher. But if you don't know the answer of their question, just tell them, okay? Tell them that you don't know, or you will look for the answer later and you will get back to them. Okay, so if it is a grammar question and if you're not certain about it, tell them, okay, I'm not really very sure about this. I really don't know. If it's all right with you, I'll get back to you. Okay, so don't give them false information. If in case unintentional, okay, if unintentionally you gave a false information to the student and then later on you realize, oh, it was wrong. Okay, you realize that it was wrong, so go back to that student. Okay, if you have the right information, give it to the student. Okay, it's better to correct yourself than to live and let your student think that you are right and in reality it's wrong. Okay, so it's better to accept your mistake and apologize about it and correct it if you can. And lastly, don't share your students' information in public. Okay, yeah, keep it in private. So whatever happened in your class, it stays in your class. Okay, all right. So these are the don'ts, the things that you must not do in class. All right, so let's go to the do's. Okay, so the things that you need to do when you are in class. First is you need a lot of patience. You need to have a lot of patience when you are in class, especially when you are teaching beginners or kids. Okay, um, sometimes kids they don't listen, sometimes they don't talk, they just wanted to play. Be patient, just breathe. Okay, and if beginners, no matter how simple the word is, they still don't understand, breathe. Okay, don't don't lose your cool, just chill out. Just chill, okay? Need a lot of patience, especially when teaching beginners. And then next, adjust your speaking speed according to the student's level. Um, Especially for beginners, you really have to speak as slow as possible. You have to say word per word, okay? Because their listening skill is still very, very weak. Okay. Next is use words and expressions according to the student's level. Um, Especially beginners, again, especially beginners, no matter how simple the word is, they still don't get it. Okay, so use examples, use pictures, use, if you can show a drawing or act in front of them, do it. Okay, so teachers, we are creatives. Even though you think that we, even though you think that you are not creative, but when you are in class, suddenly you become an actor. Suddenly you become an artist. Okay, um, there was um, there a lot of times, my student mistake my student would think that Mickey Mouse is the same with mouth. Okay, so every time I ask them to make a sentence using mouse, they will say, I use my mouse to eat. I don't laugh, okay? I don't laugh. I will just write the sentence and I will say, yeah, that's a very good sentence. That's a correct sentence, okay? But please look at the chat. I will write the sentence, the correct spelling. Instead of mouse, I will write mouth. And then they will realize, oh my God, this is a different word. I said, yeah. Do you know what is mouse? They will say, maybe. Do you know Mickey Mouse? Yeah, I know Mickey Mouse. All right, can you make another sentence using mouse? Okay, so yeah, give examples. It's easier that way if you're going to show it to them than saying it to them. Okay, so use pictures, drawings, actions, or relate it to movies or songs so that they can understand the word or the expression easily. Next, encourage the student to ask questions. Most of the students, they would say, no questions. Okay, you will know if the student don't understand the word or don't understand the lesson. If they don't understand the lesson, they don't talk, they don't participate that much. So go back, have a quick have a quick exercise, okay, and if they really don't understand, they will start asking. They will say, can you say that word again? Or can you write that word for me? Okay. So even just questions like that, or even just simple questions, I would really appreciate it, because once they ask questions, meaning there is learning in class. And next is ask follow-up questions. Although you are teaching grammar, sometimes teaching grammar is a bit boring. Okay, have an icebreaker. So for example, you are teaching be verbs, is, are, and am. The sentence is she is dancing. Okay, so have an icebreaker. Ask questions related to dancing. Just maybe it will only take maybe 10-15 seconds free talking, and then go back to the topic. Okay, next is give corrections in a very subtle, clear way. Subtle because I actually really experienced that I lost students because I was so aggressive in giving corrections. So I changed strategies. So what I do now is I let the student talk. And then I will just write down all their mistakes. It's either grammatical mistakes or um, pronunciation, if they mispronounce something, if there is a sentence that I really don't get, I will just write, or sometimes I will clarify while they're talking, but I don't correct their mistakes. Okay, but after they speak or after they talk, I will give my feedback, or if I have to agree or to disagree to their opinion, then I will do that. But after that, I will say, if you don't mind, I took down some notes and I'd like to correct some things. And then I'll send my note to them. Um, and I don't correct their grammar mistakes. I let them do it. Okay. So I'll say, please look at the first sentence. Okay. So this was your sentence. What do you think is wrong in this sentence? Sometimes students will say, oh, I really don't know. I think this sentence is correct. And then I will point out the mistake. Look at the verb of this sentence. Ah, yeah, it should be like this. Or look at the preposition of this sentence. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so they will learn that way. So in that way, they they won't be too dependent to you. Okay, and most of my students, or a lot of my students, like 99% of my students, like it when I correct it that way. Okay, next is give the student more time to talk and think. Okay, um, supposed to be teachers only have 30% talk time. Students have 70% talk time, especially for beginners. Okay, you really have to give them time to think, because in their brain, before they speak, they translate it from their local language to English. Okay, so you really have to give them time to think, um, because they're learning through translation. So they will think the answer in their own language and then translate it to English. Um, even even intermediate students, because they are at that level, they are scared to make mistakes. So they would really carefully think of their answer first and try to formulate the sentence in their brain or in their mind before speaking. So let them do that. Give them time to think. Okay. And sometimes some students, they are really very talkative, and um, there are a lot of times that you might talk at the same time, or you might speak at the same time. Give that time to the student. Okay, so I always say, yeah, please go ahead. Okay, I will let them speak first. Okay, and lastly, know your students' interests, hobbies, and work. Okay, for this is very important. For kids, they have really very short attention span. If you know their interest, if you know their hobbies, then try to relate the class according to their interest and hobbies. If for adults, university students, or working professionals, if you're going to try to relate the lesson to their major, what they're studying in the university, or you're going to try to relate the lesson according to their work, they will find your lesson very, very useful. Okay, so in this way, lesson will be student-centered, not teacher-centered, or not so bookish. Okay, so give examples that is related to their work or related to their hobbies. In that way, they can understand the lesson quickly. They can always remember you, and they will give you very, very, very good feedback. All right, so these are the things that you need to do in class. All right, so okay, so that is the part two. So part two, we learned about the we learned about the hiring process, the advantages and disadvantages of working from home, and we also learned about the do's and don'ts in class. Okay, so again, if you have not liked us on Facebook, you can search us on Facebook through our handler, Grit English, or you can search Grit English Training Center on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram at GritETC. You can email us if you have some concerns or if you need help or if you have some questions. Email us to ihavegrit@gritetc.com. And you can also reach out to us through our website, gritetc.com. Okay, you can also send us a direct message on our social media accounts, both Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so, well, that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. You take care, everybody. Bye bye.